And they're going to call the game. The game is over here as the New York Giants defeat the St. Louis Cardinals 34-17 and go into a tie for first place with the Dallas Cowboys. Identical records of 9-4. St. Louis dropping to second place, 8-4-1, but they are still in it. And as we said, we're going to have to wait until next Sunday evening to know who is going to be in these playoffs. But a tremendously important victory here for the New York Giants against the team they had to beat. And they did it with consummate grace and ease.
Well, hello! Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. And welcome to the Gridiron. Before I get started, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone out there who's been watching my videos. Thank you. If you can maybe give this video a thumbs up or possibly leave a comment below or maybe even share this video, it would mean so much to me. But anyway, just thank you so much for just taking time out of your day to check out this video. Thank you. Well, I mean, after our latest signings and, just signed Ellis yesterday, defensive tackle. I want to go over, I guess the depth the Giants have, maybe where some of their strengths are, and some of their weaknesses are. So let's get crack-a-lacking here, right? All right, now we got Daniel Jones, all right. With a quarterback. We'll start with the quarterbacks. Daniel Jones, we got Tyrod Taylor, Davis Webb, and Brian Lewerke. All right. Tyrod Taylor, love him. Absolutely love him. Is Daniel Jones and Tyrod Taylor taking us to the Super Bowl? No. But, Tyrod Taylor, if he has to come in, okay, I got no problem with that. Is Tyrod Taylor going to push Daniel Jones? Absolutely. Hopefully we're going to see the best out of Daniel Jones this year and all that and everything. Hopefully. Thing is, are we setting Daniel Jones up for, success? If we start looking at some of the offense here. The only problem, not the only problem, but with Shane and Dable is that, the cap situation, that how hard, they're bringing in bodies, okay? You got to give them that. But, with the cap situation the way it was, is that are we able to bring in, enough to really see enough out of Daniel Jones? Is this going to be another one that, well, we didn't have a great cap situation, so we didn't really bring in all the offensive linemen we wanted, and we could have used another wide receiver, so let's give Daniel Jones another, you give him another, you could franchise tag him, but it's going to cost you a boatload. Unless you, I said, you can re-sign him, but you're going to re-sign him if so it's going to be enough tough season for Daniel Jones. I really think so. But, so the quarterbacks, we don't have Aaron Rodgers or not, but, got Daniel Jones, and as I said, I love Tyrod Taylor, so. Running backs. All right. But I think I like this. I like this. And especially in the draft, if we want to maybe picking somebody else up. We got Saquon. We got Breida. Brightwell. He's not associated with Shane, so I don't know, how long he's going to be around. Brightwell's good on special teams. All right. And then Antonio Williams. You got Antonio Williams and Breida basically from the Buffalo Bills, okay? But I'm saying is that right now, okay, Breida can, spell Barkley. Barkley needs a breather or something like that. Hopefully Barkley stays healthy and all that. So our running backs, I think we're good there, especially if we wind up picking somebody else up in the draft. After this year, if we don't wind up re-signing Saquon and we let him go, right, save some money. Right. If we pick somebody up in the draft, maybe third rounder, somebody decent. I think that what Buffalo tries to do is try to get away with, quality, running backs. I mean, they don't have to be Hall of Famers or anything, so if you get somebody who can obviously run the ball but catch the ball as well, it would be huge. So, I mean, do we need Saquon Barkley to do that? No. I mean, would I love it for us to sign him, hopefully has a good year and sign him, for a long term? I would love that, but I mean, I don't know if it's in the cards, especially if Saquon's going to want 10 to 12 million a year. I don't know. We'll have the money for it next year, but I'll have to wait and see. But I mean, I like the running backs. I like that, especially if we want to picking somebody else up in the draft, though. That would be good. Let me go to wide receivers. All right, we got Kenny Golladay, Sterling Shepard, and Kadarius Toney. Right, those three, and Darius Slayton too as well. I'm almost kind of surprised we're not letting him go to save some money. But behind them, we have some depth. I'm not going to say absolutely unbelievable quality depth. I mean, Colin Johnson had a couple nice games for us last year. I mean, he got used a lot because our wide receivers got hurt a lot. Then we get Robert Foster. Okay, some depth. C.J. Board, David Sills, Alex Bachman, Travis Toivonen, and Austin Prohl. Okay, so we got depth. We got bodies. Yep. The thing I like about in this draft is that, second round, I don't know if we're going to get somebody in this draft, a wide receiver in the second round. You don't know. But, I mean, second round, third round, fourth round, fifth round, there's quality throughout. Now, if we get somebody in the fifth round, hopefully somebody you'll have on your team for a while. I mean, even after his 4 years is up, hopefully you can re-sign him. Good quality depth, because there's a lot of good wide receivers out there. And that's just the way it's going to be. I mean, darn near almost maybe forever. I mean, there's going to be a lot of wide receivers. The way the college game is now, there'll be a lot of wide receivers every year. So, I mean, you could grab somebody in the third, fourth, fifth round and be a nice quality wide receiver. I'm not saying they're going to be a Hall of Famer or nothing, but, so I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants picked up somebody in the draft. Wide receiver. You at least give some quality depth. The problem is, I mean, I like Kenny Golladay, Sterling Shepard, and Kadarius Toney. I mean, by themselves, what they can do and all that, is Sterling Shepard and Daniel Jones got a nice connection going. Sterling Shepard's going to catch his passes if he can stay healthy. Kadarius Toney is amazing what he can do when he catches the ball or the moves he can make to get open, if he can stay healthy. Kenny Golladay, if we can ever use him the right way, maybe he'll score a touchdown this year. Wouldn't that be amazing? But Kenny Golladay could be a huge asset to us if he can stay healthy. The problem is that these three guys, one thing they all have in common, they get hurt. So, I mean, you're going to have, you might have games this year where you're going to have Alex Bachman, C.J. Board, and Robert Foster as your wide receiver. I mean, because you got three wide receivers that can't stay healthy, and then you got, a bunch of depth. So, I mean, if the three guys can stay healthy, okay, but I'm not banking on it. So the wide receivers, we'll have to wait and see. That brings us to our tight ends. Oh my goodness, Ricky Seals-Jones. The Giants, is fifth team in 6 years. All right, 2018 was his high. He had 34 receptions. Can the Giants, maybe catch some lightning in a bottle with him? Who knows? But I mean, there's a reason why, we're his 5th team in 6 years. I mean, if somebody saw something in him, it's kind of like one thing when he's maybe on one team, and they're looking at him from like one, they have a system and he just doesn't fit the system, right? And he's in there, 3-4 years or so, and then after his contract's up, they let him go, and he goes to some other team and catches lightning in a bottle, does really good. But, when he's been one team after the other, and, there's a reason why, okay? Now, his ceiling's only going to be probably so high. Now, we're going into the season, Chris Myrick, Jake Hausman, and Bryson John. They have 3 catches between the 3 of them. Not good. And then we have Ricky Seals-Jones. So, look for us to pick somebody up, a tight end in the draft. so tight end is, oh my God, it's light years away from what it was last year. I mean, so between our wide receivers, if they start getting hurt, and our tight ends, we are not doing Daniel Jones any favors whatsoever. Then that brings us to our offensive line. All right, you got Andrew Thomas. Hopefully his ankle and feet, hold out this year. Got Shane Lemieux. Hopefully he comes back from his torn patella tendon, and hopefully he's okay. Well, maybe he might be our left guard. John Feliciano, the center, signed him to a 1-year deal. He's wanted to play center for a long time. He said he's been in people's ears to try to play center. He wants to play center, so let's see what he can do. All right, because Nick Gates, I don't know if he's going to be playing this year. I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants drafted a center in the draft. Right? I mean, they got to draft at least one offensive lineman in the draft, at least one. Right? They re-signed Corey Cunningham. They re-signed him from last year. He's been with Arizona, New England, and the Giants since 2018. Right? He can play right tackle or left tackle. He's depth. Is he a quality starter? I mean, no. Wes Martin, the left guard, didn't have a banner season last year. He graded out at a 40.3. The year before that with Washington, he graded out at a 44.8. Okay. So it's depth. Devry Hamilton, 6'9", 310 pounds last year at 0 snaps. From Duke, I believe. So Ben Bredesen had a hurt hand last year, so he missed some time. He played left guard. His pass blocking grade last year was horrible. I'm not sure if that had anything to do with the hand or not. His pass blocking grade, according to PFF, was a 22.7. His run blocking grade was much better. It was a 75.7. So, I mean, serviceable. Okay. All right. Matt Gano, we signed him to just a 1-year deal. He can play tackle or guard. He's young. He's only 20. He's going to be 26. He's depth. Maybe he might be the starter at right tackle. We'll have to. I don't know if he's going to battle it out with Matt Paye, or the Giants going to maybe get a tackle in the first round. I heard Cross did a phenomenal job at his pro day. So, I mean, I don't know if the Giants got Ekwonu, Neal, and Cross in their top 7. But but after apparently Cross's pro day, somebody even said that Cross looked, I believe, it looked better during this. They saw him during the season, and then they saw him at his pro day, and they said he's looked a lot better at his pro day. So he got even, apparently, according to this one person I was reading, he got even better. So, Cross might be in play, pick number 5 or number 7, who knows? So, I mean, the Giants. I mean, we got Andrew Thomas, Shane Lemieux, Ben Bredesen, Feliciano, who'll be the center. Glowinski, I like that. We got him for 3 years. He's a good quality. Put him in there at right guard. Right? Is he going to be the right guard forever? No, but I mean, for right now, for the next couple of years, okay, all right. But I said Corey Cunningham, I said Nick Gates. He had a setback with one of the I don't know if it was the plate in his leg, or he had something happened with, so a little bit of a setback. So I don't know if we're going to see him at all this year. I said we got Matt Parrott. He had ACL reconstruction. So, I mean, I have to wait and see what he looks like when he comes back. I said Wes Martin, Devry Hamilton. So, I mean, one of the things is that, especially with the offensive line, I mean, the guys got to play together. And every year you're letting guys go and bringing new guys in, and they never play together. And, obviously guys get hurt too. But, I mean, it's so hard to put an offensive line together when you're just bringing guys in left and right, and then next year we let these 5 guys go and bring 5 new guys in. I mean, it's so tough. It really, really is. Really, really tough. So, I mean, offensive line. Oh my goodness! I mean, hopefully we can get. I mean, we got Andrew Thomas. I said maybe Shane Lemieux comes back and he does a decent job for us. We got Glowinski. Maybe Feliciano does well. Maybe we can pick up a stud at right tackle, and our starting five might be decent. All right. I said if every year you can add somebody to the offensive line, we got Andrew Thomas. Maybe we got Shane Lemieux. I don't know if I'm saying we draft maybe Cross. So we got a left tackle and a right tackle. Maybe next year we can add somebody else. You know, because Feliciano isn't the answer for the long term for center. We're gonna need a center. Someone, you know, what I mean, so if you can add at least one person a year on the offensive line, that would be freaking huge. All right, so I mean, the offense is, we're not really doing Daniel Jones many favors, but I mean, a lot of it is because our cap, we're screwed. We do have a lot of draft picks, though, so that we got going for us. Right, so then we go to the defense, right. The defensive line. All right, we got Dexter Lawrence and we got Leonard Williams. Problem is that this is Dexter Lawrence's fourth year. Are we going to tender his fifth-year option, which is it was like $10 to $12 million, I think. I believe it is. We would have to wind up paying him for next year. I don't know if we're going to wind up doing that. I don't know. Leonard Williams, I mean, if they could cut him next year and save a boatload of money, I would do it. So, I mean, you don't know. I'm saying, after this year, I mean, Dexter Lawrence may not be here. Leonard Williams may not be here. We got, the Jihad Ward. He spent 2 years in Oakland, 2 years in Indy, 2 years with Baltimore, with Martinez, with Wink Martindale. Wink Martindale. All right, so he's got some familiarity there. And he spent 1 year in Jacksonville, right? But he played in 68 games. He only started in 15. Don't expect much. I mean, just because you bring in bodies, right? Yeah. Especially if they've been on multiple teams, I mean, there's a reason why. Okay, I mean, it's like I seen a lot like with Jake Fromm. We brought in Jake Fromm last year and started, and people were like, yeah, put him. He played in the ACC with Georgia. He's gonna be, he should be great. You know what I mean? There's a reason why Jake Fromm was on somebody's practice squad and he was unprotected, and we picked him up. There's a reason why. There's a reason why these guys here we're picking up, right? I mean, I'm not saying they're all gonna be horrible, but I mean, don't expect too much from some of these guys. Like Jihad Ward, right? We also picked up Justin Ellis, the defensive tackle. He's 31 years old, all right? In 8 years, he has half a sack. So don't expect anything from him in the pass rush, okay? He played in 100 games. He started in 50 of them. All right, don't expect much. But he has some familiarity with Wink Martindale, all right? So, I mean, that's one of the reasons, probably the biggest reason why we brought him in, and maybe Ward in too. They have familiarity with Martindale and his system, but don't expect a whole heck of a. I mean, it was like Danny Shelton from last year. We brought him in. Don't expect much from him, and you didn't get much from him. So, I mean, it's. Then we got Raymond Johnson III. He only played 166 total snaps last year. Okay, he graded out at a 39.6. Don't expect much. All right, then we got David Moe. He played in 44 snaps all last year. He graded out at a 30.3. Don't expect much. Nico Lalos didn't play at all last year. All right, so so Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams. Okay, I said we might certainly could pick somebody up. We could pick somebody in the draft, without question. But if we do pick somebody out in the draft, like first or second round, maybe a nice stud defensive lineman, he might be our building block for the future. Because next year, I said, Lawrence may not be here and Leonard Williams may not be here. So we're very thin. Just because we brought in a couple guys, right? We're thin on the defensive line. Okay. Edge. All right, we got Azeez Ojulari. Okay, I had a nice season last year. Quincy Roche, who we picked up from the Steelers. Okay, I mean, he had a few sacks. Okay, but nothing super spectacular. But hopefully, maybe he can build off of that. Would be nice. All right. Ellis Smith, he was hurt a lot. He had a hamstring. It wasn't much of a factor. Cam Brown, very good on special teams, not so much on the defense. Once again, Ellis Smith, Cam Brown has no ties at all with Shane. So, all right. Then we got Trent Harris. All right, last year he played 44 total snaps. We got the X-Man. He had a nice rookie season. Ever since then, he's been kind of missing in action. So, I mean, then we got Amari Cobb. I mean, he almost has like no experience whatsoever. I mean, it's a shame because we let Lorenzo Carter go. We didn't re-sign him, and he signed with the Falcons 1 year, $3.5 million. That was it. I think it was with him. The first 13 games of the season last year, he had no sacks. The last 4 games of the season, he had 5 sacks. What Carter are you getting? Are you getting the first 13 weeks where you had no sacks, or are you getting the last 4 games of the year where you had 5? Which one are you signing? Yeah, but I mean, it's a shame. I mean, because he the last 4 games he really turned it on. He did a really, really good job. And it was only $3.5 million. But I mean, the Giants were just salary cap strapped, and they just couldn't afford to sign him. It was a shame. But at least Lorenzo's only a 1-year deal with them, so maybe, who knows, maybe somewhere along the line, maybe the Giants might want to re-sign him again. Who knows? But I mean, the edge, I mean, there's a possibility maybe Thibodeau or somebody like that, could be in play for the Giants in the first, maybe somebody in the second round, and we might be able to add to it. But other than that, I mean, we're just not stockpiled there either with the edge. The linebackers. All right, we got Blake Martinez, Tay Crowder, who led the team with 130 tackles last year. Okay, but he just struggled. He graded, according to PFF, he graded out at a 29.1. His run defense is not very good. All right, and he's not the greatest in coverage either. All right. But I mean, he Mr. Irrelevant. 130 tackles for Mr. Irrelevant. That's pretty impressive. But once again, he has no ties to Shane, so you don't know. I mean, thank goodness we got Blake Martinez coming back. Thank goodness for that. Okay, but other than that, we got Carter Coughlin, who missed last year. T.J. Brunson and Justin Hilliard. I mean, oh my goodness. We're hurting. We're hurting there too. I mean, wow. All right, then we got the cornerbacks. All right, we got James Bradbury and Adoree Jackson. The problem is that now, any given moment, you can have an update from ESPN on my phone or something saying that dun-dun-dun, Giants trade James Bradbury to so and so, or it could be any time we get rid of James Bradbury. Next year, we might get rid of Adoree Jackson to save some money. And if we get rid of him, we'll save some. If we get rid of Galladay, Jackson, and Leonard Williams, we're going to save a lot of money next year. And that's a possibility. The problem is, you got to get somebody, because with Wink Martindale, he loves the pressure. So, sending the pressure, the guys on the outside, the cornerbacks and the guys in the second, there'll be a lot of one-on-one. So, the guys got to cover. I mean, I mean, the guys we got, cornerbacks, I mean, Darnay Holmes, Rodarius Williams, Aaron Robinson, and Jaron Williams. Those are the guys we got. Who's going to, if we let Adoree Jackson go and James Bradbury go between this year and next year, I mean, who's cornerback 1, who's cornerback 2, who's got the slot receiver? So don't be surprised if Sauce Gardner isn't in play for picks number 5 or pick number 7. That's if we don't trade back or something. So don't be surprised there, because if we get rid of Bradbury and bring Sauce in, you might trade one for the other. Okay. Then of course we have safety. We'll let Logan Ryan go. Right now we have Julian Love and Xavier McKinney. I mean, Xavier McKinney is somebody hopefully you can build around. Maybe Kyle Hamilton for the Notre Dame might be in play, number 5 or number 7 for the Giants. Julian Love, this is the last year of his contract. Once again, no ties whatsoever to Shane. Right, so you don't know if they're going to let him go. I mean, I thought they might even let him go this year just to save some salary cap money too. but then they'd be down to one safety. So don't be surprised. I mean, I'm sure they're going to, between the college undrafted, the free agency of college players after the draft's over, and maybe in the draft, don't be surprised if we don't wind up picking up a safety. I mean, because we are, man, I mean, these are cornerbacks. We have cornerbacks, right? We have edge rushers. We got linebackers. We got defensive linemen. So we got, I mean, I'm not saying we're loaded with talent anywhere, but at least we got bodies, all right? Safety, we have, like, we got two. All right, so don't be surprised if we don't bring in, like, at least maybe another cheap free agent, maybe, somebody for $1 million a year. And then I said then maybe get somebody in the draft, because we need safeties. I mean, overall, don't expect much this year. I don't want to sound like Debbie Downer or nothing like that, but you look at this roster, don't expect much. I mean, hopefully, we just start building it brick by brick. Keep a couple of the foundational guys here, and each year, hopefully this year in the draft, we can add a few players, hopefully 4 or 5 nice players. Move forward next year, add a few more players in the draft. We're going to have some money next year. Bring in a couple free agents, couple nice free agents. Don't be going hog wild crazy like your girly world, all right? Bring in a couple nice guys in free agency who you can maybe build around, right? And just start working it from there. Because, right now, I'm not very impressed at all with this roster we have. But between Malik Willis and Kenny Pickett doing well at their pro day, hopefully teams from the back who might want to come up and trade with the Giants with pick number 5 and pick number 7. That would be huge, and we can maybe trade back, get some more draft picks, not only for this year, but maybe for next year as well, too. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there. Go Giants! Woo!